All right, Dom. Let's just another year in Winnipeg. Maybe assessing where things, how things went overall for you.
Yeah, it was a good year. A lot of ups and downs. Um, as far as team wise, love the compete level. Team being in last place in the whole league. A lot of guys, a lot of teams will shut it down and start looking at summer vacations. But love the compete these guys had, the battle and the will for each other and getting out of that hole and becoming a playoff team.
It's not an easy thing to do especially when you're in the moment, losing those 11 straight. But from a development perspective, again, like I said, everybody learns from it, everybody grows from it. But what kind of impact can that have in terms of learning, for the future, for not just yourself, but for all the guys who are never been in this? Because so many guys, whether you're old or young, haven't been in something like that before.
Yeah, it just I think it kind of builds that never give up attitude, that hunger to win. Obviously, every game's so important in this league, even if it's the first game of the season. So I think guys took a realization of that and how important every game is and every point. So yeah, I like the growth and definitely a good learning year for the young guys for sure.
It seems like you mentioned that guys could have just kind of decided, like, okay, throw in the towel, like whatever. We're last place in the AHL. This is well. Let's think about next year, individual development. From your perspective, what is it about this team? Because it seems like it's been years now that this team just has something. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like there's something that connects you guys all together that just doesn't allow that to happen. Is there some way something you could put your finger on that kind of, describes why that is?
Yeah, maybe just the way guys came together. Just wanted to compete for each other, play for each other. I think guys really bought into their roles. We found the line combinations that were working, and just kept rolling once the wind started going, and you kind of get that good feeling back and that hunger for more. I think we just kept rolling with that.
You talked about the growth. How special is it to see two players make their NHL debuts while you guys are on the road there?
Oh, it's always a special time. You're just so excited for those guys. A lot of guys know that feeling and what they're going through. So to be able to watch it and enjoy it with them, especially seeing them the next couple days after, and it was awesome. I'm very happy for those guys. They deserved it.
Yeah, and how odd was that too? I mean, just the way the season wrapped up. Obviously, you finished the 2 regular season games in Texas, and you go right into round 1 against them. How did you guys weather that storm, I guess? Because that is not really common, I guess, to wrap up and spend a whole 2 weeks really down in Austin.
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy situation, one I've never seen before. Like I said before, we just kind of wanted to set the tone in those first 2 games, kind of give them a taste of what we were going to bring come playoffs, and I thought we did that, and then kind of shied away from that in game 1, and they took it to us, and then it was a little too late, and they got the bounces in game 2, so they got it when it mattered. But yeah, definitely a weird situation, and I don't know when we'll see that again.
But it still must be big for some of the younger guys, maybe some of the first-year pros, to maybe see what playoff hockey is like. Like, how do you think that's going to benefit some of these guys heading into the summer and in their preparations for next year?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can play playoff hockey, it goes a long way. Definitely a good learning curve. Obviously, the speed of the game, the physicality, fight for every inch on that ice come playoff time is a whole lot different than the regular season. So even just get a taste of it. Hopefully guys are hungry for more and want to make a deep run.
How important is it for guys who are injured, for you guys to keep them as part of the team? Obviously, when it's your captain, it's a little bit easier because Jimmy's, a significant part. But guys like Danny Zhilkin or Chaz Lucius, for them to still feel like they're part of the team, even though obviously they weren't expected to be back this season. How'd you guys kind of keep them in the loop so they felt like hey, you're still part of this?
Yeah, it was just kind of keeping them around the locker room, keeping them around the guys. Obviously, they're kind of doing their own thing with rehab and workouts and whatnot, but just having them around the rink as much as possible with the guys, I know goes a long way and helps build those guys up. So I think they did a good job of that, and we're hanging around and wanting to chat and see the guys. So they did a good job with that as well.
From your own perspective, individually, like how'd you see your year? And obviously you got some chances with the Jets and here with the Moose, but just for yourself, if you were grading, I mean, I don't expect a grade, but just in terms of how you looked at your season overall.
Yeah, it was pretty good for the most part. I liked like some things and didn't like others. I wasn't fully happy with my season down here. I thought the production was a little down, obviously, from last year, so a little disappointed in myself in that. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good season.
Is there, I guess, from your perspective, I mean, you signed the 2-year deal, so you've got another year here in Winnipeg at least. And what does that mean to you to know that, hey, you know where you're going to be here next year, and you kind of have that, you can just focus on training this summer, don't have to think about anything else?
Yeah, there's a lot of comfort in that, especially with having the family and whatnot. Gives us the comfort we need. And like you said, you can focus on the summer and training and doing the things you need to do to be ready for next season, and not worry about all the contract talks where you're going to end up and all that. So that played a big part in getting that 2-year, just having that comfortability.
In terms of your summer plans, what's on tap for you for the summer?
Pretty busy summer as far as weddings and all that. I feel like typically it goes every other year for us. We have an off summer and this is an on summer for us, so we're going to be busy with that. But it's a lot of fun. We got a lot of friends getting married.